Hi everybody! Tonight we will do some socks, starting by the black needle, one in the front, one in the back, for the first 17 needle. Almost there. One more. That's it. Put your yarn under the red bump. Put in the yarn feeder. Just add a little tension on it, not too much. Take your time, give the time to the hook to grab the stitch, and you go do the same thing on the other side. So you pass through one bump after your stitch and you come back. Be careful to keep the same distance between the starting and the ending of your work. Always good to lower the stitch. So I pass the red bump and come back. Whoops. I would take my hook, it's better. Loom hook is always handy to have close to you when you work with your machine. There. Pass through the bump, red bump, and come back. And you do that for 65 rows. So it will take time. So if you're a newbie, you could watch it, but maybe not comfortable to make it the first try. But don't give up. Never know. It took me like a weekend, full weekend, to finally get it. How to do the increase and the decreasing. So I do 65 rows, past the red bump, and come back. It took me a full weekend to figure it out, but I'm so proud I did it now. This video was bilingual one, so I decided to divide it, not divide it, but to do it in English only, so it'd be more comfortable for English people. And I did the French one for the French people, so people will be all happy now in both language. So continue like that, and make sure you go down and keep the same space. Have 5. There. And I will go through the 65 there. 65 is done. Now it's time to the decreasing. Only finished this row. Time to decrease. For the decreasing, I remove it from the yarn feeder. Take my hook, take the stitch and crank to get the next needle to get up, and I put the stitch on the neighbor. Close it and go slow, and you got one reduce, decrease. So we do the same thing here. Open the yarn feeder, pull out the stitch and put it on the neighbor like this. Pull a little bit on your stitch to get it more secure, and keep away from big loop. And I continue. So the first decrease, it's kind of long, but it's better to take the time and listen to it and be more comfortable when you will do it yourself. Like this. continue, pass through the red bump, come back, open the yarn feeder, take your stitch, get it out, and bring it on the next needle. Put that under the red bump, put in the yarn feeder and crank. So I continue, pass through the red bump, remove the stitch, bring it on the neighbor, pull on the tail, put it under the red bump and in the yarn feeder and crank. Put it down, the stitch is too high. Put it down, pass the first like this, and grab the stitch and same thing there. So all the time will be the same. I will reduce till 6 and increase till 17 when I do the heels or the toe part. Put it down, pass through the red bump, come back, open the yarn feeder, bring the stitch on the next one, put it under and in the yarn feeder. It's kind of long to do that, but when we will increase, it will be very fast compared to this part, so don't worry. There, put it there. Yeah, I practiced myself for a full weekend, and I will show you my sample after. Remove. Almost finished. Put it down, under, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put it down. That's the last one I remove, and I will put it here. Put it in the yarn feeder and crank. 6. So now it's look like this. I have 6. So it will look like this. See, the edges are okay. Look good. So now it's going to be the fun time. Add some new stitch. Very easy. Remember when we do the flat panel, we jump one bump. For adding a stitch, we will do 2 bump. 1, 2 on each side to create 1 stitch. Lower this one first. Okay, so after the last stitch I start counting 1, 2, 1, 2, and come back. See, the stitch will be created right here. Okay, go slow. Very important. It's not a race when you do flat panel. 2, 1, 2. So we will do that till we reach 17 stitch wide. 1, 2, and come back. Create a new stitch. 1, 2, and come back. Whoops, almost lost that one. So 1, 2, and I come back. One, one, another one, two, and come back. Almost finished the two. Put it down. My computer make a lot of noise. Will have to clean it after. Maybe the fan need to be cleaned. So I continue. Make sure you push down your stitches. 1, 2. Almost finish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm done. The last 1, 2. Da, da, da. 3, 4, 5. So, whoops, lower, just one now. So I continue like that for 30 rows, 30 rows. Don't forget to put all those numbers in your notebook, very important. Continue like that for 30 rows, 30 rows. It will look like this for the eel. See? It's nice. So bring it together like this. Nice edge. I like the color too. There. So now I reached the 30 rows. Now it's time to decrease again till I reach 6 stitch. Oof, that's hard to say. So I did the first one, put the yarn under the red bump, make sure my stitches are down, and then I crank. Make the same thing here, pass through, come back, open the yarn feeder, take the full stitch and put it on the neighbor or the next hook or needle. So I continue same thing till I get the six stitch. Oof. It's hard sometimes. There. This. Oh, my yarn divide. Da-dum. So okay, I got it. And I put it here. Put it under. And I continue. Put it down. And crank. Repeat. Grab your stitch. Put it on the neighbor. Put under the red bump. Close. And crank again. Like this. There. Grab it and put it here. Put it down. I was lucky that the yarn worked well for this one because my machine doesn't really like that kind, but at least it worked for this project. There, put it on the neighbor, put it back in the yarn feeder. There, keep going, same thing, under in the yarn feeder. There. If you're still here, can you put a smiley face in the comment, please? Or you could wait till the end. And if you have any question, you could put in the comment. I will be more than happy to answer it for you. Always happy to read it. Put that under. Last one. And I'll be ready to increase just after. So I have the 6. They look like this. See better in yellow. And now it's time to increase till 17. So I have to count 1 and 2 bumps to create the stitch. So at the last stitch I start counting 1, 2, 1, 2. Come back slowly, take your time. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 2. Almost finished. 2. 1, 2. And I reached the 70. Now I will continue for 35 rows. 35. Same thing. Put it down. Down to count. So I go start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 22, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Continue. Oh, almost did an extra stitch. Almost make a mistake. So I continue. continue. $35. It's reached. Time to cast off. To cast off, I cut the yarn, open the yarn feeder, and I forgot to do the 360 with the machine. I was tired, so I decided to pick it up. Oops, sorry. And it didn't go well. It was hard like this because I have to play with the crank to release the stitch. Instead, I should just crank it to go in front of the yarn feeder that I know, but I don't know why I didn't do it right there. Sometimes we do weird thing. So I will continue like that, and I will crank it like I supposed to do. So I crank it, pass in front of the yarn feeder to release all the stitches. So after I go with the tip of my wool needle, take all the stitches off like this. I go between the two red teeth. Almost lost this one. There. Got it. So I have my simple that I work on all the weekend. I attach it together to relax the stitch like I did here. So I have the bottom, the heels, and the top of my slipper is on the other side right here. So it will look something like this. Ta-da! It's a lot of work though. Don't do that for your first ever. So pause and take note right now. It's an order. You miss it. So when you see the numbers, always press pause and take note or screenshot or whatever that work for you. So for the stitches, I didn't go very hard. So I just grab half of it with the wool needle like this. I could do, so I just grab half of the stitches like this with my wool needle. I continue. And next time I do this pattern, I will choose a full color, not a changing color like this. It's very cool, but when you come to the time to stitches together, to attach it together, it's hard because the yarn is not the same color, and when you do your seam, you could see the difference with the color. It will be nice, but not the same as if I use a solid color. There. So I remove my safety pin all the way like this, one by one. So I start one side and I finish this side. As I said, I didn't do anything complicated. There. And here I have a stitch that is kind of very wide. So I will twist it with the tip of my wool needle like this and pin inside like this, so we will not see it after. See you, big loop. See you later, alligator. So I continue. So it looked like this. Da, 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 da. So now it will be time to grab the stitch and 2 crochet around it. If you are a knitter, it will be much nicer, I think, if you do it with the knitting needle. But I'm not a good knitter, so I go with the crochet hook. But if you're more comfortable with hook, go with the hook. If you're more comfortable with the needle, knit needle, I use a 4mm. As you could see, right now I'm grabbing the stitch that it's all with the lifeline, and I will remove the lifeline after. It's not a lifeline, but it's the yarn that I use to remove it from the machine, so it acts like a lifeline. I remove it to prevent the the socks to be too tight around the legs. That's why I take my time. I grab stitch by stitch, because when I will remove the lifeline line, I don't want it to drop any stitch. There. Continue till I reach the other side. Almost there. Grab all the stitch. So I continue like this. I will grab a stitch on the blue side, continue crochet, there, and I will jump to the end. Maji. So I go under like this, grab it, I do a slip stitch, cut the yarn, and voila! Nothing fancy. I regret I should do like a seashell stitch. Will be nice. So now it's time to remove the lifeline, so that way it will not be tight on the legs. It'll be more comfortable. And in the same time, I check if I don't have any loose stitch, lost stitch. Not sure what to say, loose or lost. It's lost, I think. Or drop stitch is better. Make sure that I have no drop stitch. Sounds better. So I will remove that, and I those little tail of yarn after, and that's it for this project. Hope you enjoy it, and I will see you next week for a brand new video. I'm preparing a new one right now. I'm still fixing old video like this one. I will try to redo all the bilingual one and put it in English only and French only for the other channel I have. So like this, remove, did one side, we do the other side. So it will look like this. So see you next week for a brand new video. Ciao ciao!